welcome back. This is By the Book, and we're your married relationship coaches. I'm Sent.
I'm Sil.
And today we're talking about Married at First Sight, season 15. We're in between part 1 and part 2 of the reunion show.
Yeah.
We're talking about Justin, I guess, and Alexis, but this is a sidebar. So if you join us every week, you already know what it is. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that bell notification, and join the party. We're just about to take a little part of Alexis and Justin's relationship, and we're going to blow it up into its own video because it's definitely a conversation we're having here at home right now. So without further ado, what we're talking about is Justin's bad bedroom behavior. Yeah. And what I mean is that, we've kind of known throughout the season, through little tidbits here and there that came out from Alexis, that the sex between them, whatever it was bad. And in this first part of the reunion show, I think we really got clued in to exactly how bad it was, and more importantly, exactly how oblivious Justin was to that.
Yeah.
Or he just doesn't care. He either doesn't know or he doesn't care that he's bad in bed to women. And I don't know. First and foremost, we can talk about this because ever since we met Justin on the show, he's been talking about his member. Saying women want to know if I'm packing, and this about my meat. He's been saying a lot.
They look at me like a piece of meat.
Yes, and almost same thing. Yeah. So anyway, I felt like at that time he was putting too much emphasis on it, and I'm like, okay, what is he trying to prove here? Like, is he overcompensating for something?
Yes,
because it really sounds like it, but who knows? And then as time wore on, we could get into his feminine traits or whatever, but this is not what this is about. But as time wore on and sexual details start to come out, it's like, okay, yeah, it definitely was an overcompensation.
Yeah.
And we get all the way to the reunion show, and they can't even agree upon, not was the sex good or bad, but was it even had? Like, try, right? Like,
so
you tried to do it or you did not do it. Like, it doesn't even, you can't even agree whether or not you actually completed the act.
Yeah.
You're talking about sex in terms of whether this penetrated or it didn't. This is not the way that men who are good in bed talk about sex, Justin. Like, that was crazy to me. So, the overarching thing here, and what I've been asking my husband is like, how does this happen? Like, he's 33 or 34 years old. How do you get to this age in your life as a man and be bad in bed, be oblivious to the fact that you're bad in bed, or not care whether or not you please your partner?
Wow. Well, kind of like what you just said already, it's going to start with some selfishness. And you're right. When he was in the beginning of the season, when he was basically saying that women were after him, self-praise is no recommendation. So I already kind of like felt like something ain't quite right with this guy. But yeah, it starts with selfishness. It starts with a man kind of like thinking about himself, wanting to get his pleasure, get his gratification, and not really even considering that this is a partnership, type thing that's happening. And you really should be thinking more about your partner's pleasure than your own, because when you think about your partner's pleasure, then ultimately your pleasure is going to be heightened. But you have to get out of your own head, and you got to get out of your own way and start thinking about your partner over yourself. Because
you listen to him talk, and he's like, I had a good time, Yeah. And what else did he say? When he said that he thought they both orgasmed. And he was like, well, I did. There's no other... I don't have the words. Yeah. I literally don't have the words. When he said that, my mouth just dropped open. I'm like, wow, this man is clueless.
Yeah.
And I don't even hear a lot of young men speak like that. I mean, I thought that at that stage in his life, in your mid-30s, and probably, I don't know, 10 years prior, maybe even, you would be embarrassed to speak like that, especially publicly, nationally on TV, that you would be embarrassed to say, well, I got mine, essentially. That shouldn't be a point of pride. So it was weird for me to hear that. But then I think back midway through the season, if you guys will remember, after Alexis revealed that she and Justin had been intimate with one another, she had a conversation with the ladies. This was when they were on like that group retreat or something. And there was a consensus among the ladies that essentially they would sacrifice having quality sex for having a great man. And to be honest, that's not uncommon. I think as women, that's how we feel. We feel like that might be a sacrifice we have to make in order to have a good man, at least when we're younger. I think that women think like that. And so they don't tell the truth to men a lot of times in terms of what's not satisfactory. That may be why he thought she sounded like she had an orgasm. She might have been faking it for him, either just to get it over with or to stroke his ego a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I don't see Alexis faking it for him, though. But it's possible. I'm going to try to give it a benefit of the doubt.
Give it a benefit. I mean, I think a lot of women do.
Yeah.
Y'all, like, look, we could do a poll. Can we set up a poll? Like, how many women have faked it? I mean, we could just put me too in the tag. That's all you gotta put in the comment, and we're gonna already know what you're talking about. Me too. I'll start. Me too. Yes, it happens. I mean, it happens. And we do feel like it's more important to have a good man than to have sexual gratification, unfortunately. Some of us come into the knowledge of like, hey, no, I don't want to deal with that, and then we have different expectations and we put higher demands. But I think a lot of young women looking to get married, just look. If she had said yes to him, she would have been signing on to a lifetime of terrible sex.
Well, if that's some of the problem, that women are faking it to help their partner's ego, then you're only hurting your own self then, because it takes communication for things to get better, even in sex. Yeah. Yes, you're going to have to talk about it. You got to talk about, I like this, I don't like that. And if your partner, I don't know how you could tell your man to increase his thrust. I don't know how you could tell that.
She tried it.
I don't know how you could tell that. But, but the whole stamina thing, women can work with their man to get them to a longer period, so... So those things can happen through communication, most definitely.
But I think that speaks to a larger problem just with relationships in general. For a lot of women, they feel the pressure. And I think a lot of women on these shows, as they approach like the age roundabout of 30, and in this season, we've seen, women who were significantly over 30, Alexis and Stasha, they're at a place where they feel, I don't want to say desperate, but they feel more of a push toward getting married and understand that some things may be sacrificed. Whereas they may have had a fairy tale idea of what marriage was like when they were younger. They start to be like, okay, well, like I'll take a good man and I'll just work around the other stuff. And I think we see this happen frequently. So they don't want to complain, because now if you start to put pressure on this man and say, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to get better and blah, 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 then he's going to maybe be pushed away. So they don't want to lose that good man.
Wow, that's
trying to request good sex.
That's blowing my mind a little bit, because I hear quite a few, let's just say modern women. I'm not talking about the negative term modern women, but modern women, And so I hear them say that they are not really having it as far as going through any bad sex like type thing. And they feel like they don't even want to have to work with someone to get them better. They want their partners already ready and able, so...
Okay,
That's
so
it.
my question to that for you would be, are these same women looking for long-term relationships and husbands, or are they looking to hook up with people?
I would say they would say that they want relationships. How they go about getting the relationships is out of order, though.
Okay, so they're leading with sex.
They're leading with sex.
Yeah, so, and I think that probably more often than not doesn't result in the type of long-term relationship that they may be looking for. So I think the school of thought is different depending upon what you may be seeking in terms of a relationship.
Yeah.
So those who are just looking for a quality relationship and a spouse, they're like, you know what? If the sex isn't good, I'll deal with it. And you could see it clear as day. As an example, Kristen agreed, Stasia agreed, all of them agreed. You know, Stasia freaky. So she would want to have a partner who was, you know, sexually there for her. Yeah. But she would sacrifice that not entirely, like they can't do it at all, but sacrifice it being like high level sex for having a good man. And so I don't know who to blame for this. I don't know if it's our fault or if men should just grow up at some point and take it upon themselves to say, you know what, I want to make sure that my partner is satisfied.
You got to get out of the selfish thing. And porn does not help it because porn only makes you more selfish.
I didn't know we were going down the porn.
I'm just saying.
Tell us about porn, baby. Why?
Because it's the man. It's the monitor, whatever he's watching, the images that he's watching, it's all about him. It just feeds to selfishness. Okay. So that doesn't help. So it's just like, got to get out of your head. You got to stop being selfish. But you know what? Here's the thing. Justin said he was celibate for how long?
1.5 years.
He was celibate for 1.5 years. And so it makes me kind of like wonder what his whole pattern was. Did he have a long-term relationship? Or was it some hit and misses or whatever? Why didn't he kind of improve or, you know, or whatever? So
he
it just
probably didn't have, but he strikes me as the type of person who hasn't had a lot of sexual experience. And I think that comes with having a long-term relationship. Like you do end up having a lot of sexual experience, even though it may just be with one person. Yeah. So you may be more comfortable in your own skin and, you know, trying different things. He strikes me as somebody who was like a hit or miss type thing, if at all. Shoot, he may have been a virgin. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a lot of different. Justin, he's a strange little bug, you know, to kind of sort through. He marched to his own drum beat. Yeah. It's very hard to kind of like pin him down and be like, okay, this is why you are where you are. Some of those things we can, as far as him being over emotional, but this whole sexual thing, being in his 30s,
it's crazy. It's disappointing. So I feel like I think I understand what women need to do on their end. So I'll just share this. What I think is, I think before you have sex with a person, you need to have conversations about what you like and what you don't like. Don't wait until after you've done it. You know, so that means you probably can't do it immediately, right? So because then it's hard to start talking about it without it feeling like a critique, you know, because we're not going to want to bruise you guys' egos. We're not going to want to say anything harsh or that comes off like a criticism. So it's easier to criticize before the actual thing has gone wrong. You know, it's like just setting the tone for what you want, you know. Like, Justin, I'm not going to be okay with 30 seconds worth of sex. Like, that's not going to be cool for me. I need you to work that out in the bathroom first and then come visit me afterwards. Or whatever needs to happen. Are you blushing? Like, something. You know, she needed to be forward thinking in terms of, like, how could this go wrong? And let me just let you know ahead of time what I'm not going to like. That's if he cares to do it. I mean, if he doesn't care, he's going to do what he's going to do anyway. Yeah. But in order for her not to feel like, okay, I just had terrible sex and now I have to crush this man's ego, you know, to avoid that situation, talk about it on the front end. Yeah. And then they'll have like a roadmap, if you will, when you actually get to it. And at least they'll be trying to follow the map, you know. That would be my advice to ladies going forward, because we are selling ourselves short. When I heard the room full of them all agree to that, I'm like, that's too bad.
Oh, well.
I mean, right? I mean, come on. Like, we've said this before. If you see some of our old videos, like, women want to have orgasms too, right? Like, make it happen. If that Justin mess is not flying.
I don't think it would, especially not in today's climate with women. No, I don't think it's gonna fly at all.
But it is. That's the same. I'm telling you, it is. It is. We're still doing
I don't care. No.
Kristen, Alexis, Lindy, all the whole room full of them agreed to it. And watch when they start putting Me Too in the comment section. Watch. It's gonna happen. Anyway, guys, we're just having a little fun here. But I mean, it's true. Honestly, that whole breakdown of how that sex went, they couldn't even agree whether they had it or not. The orgasm situation, I was like, wow, this is for real. And he's not the only guy out there like that. As much as I want to harp on Justin being, what do you call him, a strange bug? Yeah, he is one. Bug. But that sexual conversation, that sexual issue, I think is more prevalent than women would like to experience, and probably more prevalent than guys would like to admit. But yeah, it's out there, and I don't know. We got to do our best to stop that, because it's not fair. It's not fair. We need to make a movement against this.
Oh my goodness! Get a vaccine. You take the shot, and you never have to deal with bad sex ever again in your life. How about that?
I promise I didn't give him nothing to drink, y'all. Drop those comments below. Let us know your thoughts about that, about this whole bad sex situation and how we get out of it. It's a conundrum. So like, share, subscribe, guys. We'll talk to you guys soon.